my name is Gabi.
And I'm Charlotte.
And this is the 2024 redesigned Kona N-Line Ultimate.
Again.
Again. And if you're thinking, you guys filmed this car last week. Yeah, we did. But we didn't film this color.
And look how fun it is.
It's so much fun. So, of course, today's video, we're going to switch things up a little bit just so it's not too repetitive here. And if you are a new viewer and you want a complete, in-depth review of every single button this car has to offer,
we've done it.
Yeah, we've done it. There we go. This vehicle or this video is going to focus a little bit more on what we absolutely love about it and some features that are, I think, top-notch, a game changer in this segment for sure. But also some things we think it could improve on because, of course, we are sponsored by Kia and Hyundai, but we're going to be honest.
Yes.
And there are definitely some things that we think could improve a little bit. They're not too big, so I don't think they'd be a deal breaker for someone like me, but maybe they could be for you. So hopefully this video helps you out along your decision-making journey.
Absolutely.
Now, with that being said, Charlotte, take it away.
So for those of you who may be new, we do have 3 reasons why we do this channel. And if you are new, feel free to skip to about the 3-minute mark. For those of you who are watching live, you're stuck with us. So enjoy. But we do these videos for 3 different reasons. The first one is for those of you who own Kia or Hyundai product, we want you to be the experts on your own vehicles. The second reason is if you are searching to purchase a new vehicle or a new to you vehicle, why not consider Kia and Hyundai? Hopefully these videos will show you that they've done a lot of really cool stuff in the past couple years. You might want to add them onto your roster.
Yep.
The third reason is if you are looking to purchase a new Kia or Hyundai, why not buy it from us? If you live in Ontario, Canada.
Yes, Canada's a big part.
We charge no dealer markup, no market adjustment fee. We sell at MSRP. If you want a Kia, myself and Gabi are here at Brantford Kia. If you are more interested in Hyundai, we have Brantford Hyundai and Owen Sound Hyundai, and we would love to get you guys connected with them. With that being said, let's talk about what we like and what we think could be better.
Not so much. All right, so I'm going to start off with the exterior, and Charlotte's going to talk about the interior, so stay tuned for that. Some things I love about the styling are certainly when it comes to the N-Line and the N-Line Ultimate. If you're curious about the vehicle we're showing today, this is the 2024 N-Line Ultimate. So this is the very top trim level or fully loaded option you can get here in Canada. This vehicle comes with brand new safety features that we've never had before available in the Kona. So this size class of SUV, it's actually quite impressive that we get a full 360 view camera, blind spot monitoring, and a whole lot more. I'll get into that shortly. If you're curious about the paint color, it is definitely an interesting one. This is called Mirage Green. And that leads me to my very first point about what we love about the Hyundai Kona. I love the styling of it. So especially for 2024, everything is fresh and new. So take a look at this beautiful Horizon style daytime running light. It's extremely bright. Of course, it's an LED. Every light in this car is an LED, mind you. So as we take a look closer down, you can see our main headlight unit is, again, LED. Daytime running lights, positioning lights, you name it, it's bright and it's here. Talking about this restyle, we also have a distinct front grille. At first glance, a lot of our people, or customers I should say, that looks like an EV. It's almost blank, but it's not in the same way. And that's because the Kona EV was designed before the gasoline Kona. So there's a little, I guess, trick, or not trick, Easter egg for you guys. In the actual grille though, on the N-Line, everything is gonna be this beautiful shiny black. We have our active grille shutters right over there, so that's of course going to open and close to allow airflow into the engine bay. Down below we have a beautiful styling element to your lower grille, and then in the very center we have our radar sensor, so that's going to be used for things like your forward collision avoidance, highway drive assist, and your adaptive cruise control, which this vehicle, you guessed it, it's got all of it. On this section, so Charlotte, you might have to get a little bit closer. If you take a closer look, we have this ultrasonic parking sensor, and that's scattered throughout the entirety of the front bumper. That is going to allow this vehicle to beep inside the cabin to let you know when you're getting a little too close. Of course, for 2024, they took it a step further by also including a front camera. So that's located right over there, and that's going to give you a crystal clear image of what is in front of your car, what's on the side of your car, and what's on the back of your car. Now, the design is a hot take. We have some of our viewers that just don't like it. Maybe it's because you're not used to it yet, or maybe the colors we've shown are a little bit too funky. That also brings me to another point. I truly think there's a Kona in the lineup for anybody when it comes to the color or the trim option. There's seriously so much variety. So this is, of course, the full spec, sporty styling. If you're looking for something a little bit more, I guess, unassuming, there is just an all-wheel drive Kona. There's a front-wheel drive Kona. You can get in black, you can get in gray, you can get in white, something that looks more like a traditional crossover. But this one definitely kicks it up a couple notches. Charlotte, I want to show the mirror right over here. So this is, of course, black, which kind of contrasts from the body color, but gives it a more subdued look. We have our camera for a blind spot right over there, and then a turn signal indicator, which again is an LED. Something you can also get when it comes to the exterior styling is the option for the two-tone. So where you can see we have a black roof, but we have a black roof, but the Mirage Green body color paint. If you want all Mirage Green, you can do that. It's totally up to you guys. You can certainly customize the car however you like it. Another thing that you get in the higher trim levels, so I believe it's the preferred trend and above, you get body colored wheel wells. So the armor or the cladding of the vehicle will all be body colored. I think this gives it a more premium look, allowing it to look a little bit more sleek, stylish. But again, like I said, there's a Kona for everybody, so if you like the plastic style body armor, that's also an option. For the trunk space, everything is bigger in the 2024 Kona, so they completely redesigned it. It wasn't a refresh, and now we have a ton more space. Back here, you can see we have our cargo cover. Now this comes with the vehicle. It's super easy to remove. You just unclip it from these latches up there. And the best part is it fits underneath your floorboard. So let's say you're going shopping and you don't want it for whatever purpose, but you also don't want to put it in your house somewhere and forget about it. Tuck it under there. Just remind yourself it's there. You could also forget about it there, I guess. Now, since we're looking over here, you may notice there's no spare tire. And that is something that's common for vehicles of this size class, just because it's all about weight reduction and less time spent on the side of the road. Let's say you get a flat.
Oh man, again.
Did it fall?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay, that gave me time to adjust the tow hook. All right, so let's say you're on the side of the road with a flat tire or a complete blowout. Even if you have a complete blowout, there's nothing this mobility kit can do, but you can call your Kia or Hyundai roadside assistance. You get it free for 5 years, unlimited kilometers. If you do experience just a puncture, you can utilize this mobility kit to unpuncture it. So essentially, it's going to fill up your tire with air and sealant to close that hole and allow you to drive until you can get your tire actually swapped. Now we'll close this and talk about the rear styling of the vehicle. And then we'll work our way back to the front to talk about the engine, transmission, and there's some power upgrades for this year. So you can see we have, again, that beautiful Horizon style rear tail lamp, which is an LED. We also have our H-TRAC all-wheel drive badge, so indicating that this vehicle is, of course, all-wheel drive. It's a smart system, which means it's going to be primarily front-wheel drive until the rear wheels detect slippage, and then it will convert itself. We also have Kona written boldly across the back, and if you take a closer look, sorry, I know Charlotte, you're struggling, but our emblems are actually a flush, low-profile design, so if you get really close to the side, you can see they are nice and sleek. Did the gimbal die?
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be a fun video.
Live, laugh, and love.
Fair warning for everyone. This happens.
It's real.
It's real.
It's live.
It might be a little shaky for us this video, but that's how you know we're real people and we're doing this in real time. All right, for a spoiler, you get this on the N-Line and the N-Line Ultimate. I think it adds a nice touch. Aerodynamics, of course. And one thing I want to point out, if you're looking for a smaller SUV or if you have a growing family, you probably don't need a full size. This vehicle can fit your family, fit your stuff, and look good while doing it. You also don't sacrifice very much on the fuel efficiency department. The turbo in this vehicle is not necessarily for extreme sports performance, although it is fun to drive. It's an efficiency turbo, so this vehicle actually gets really good mileage, and it's not a hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid, it's just your regular gas car. For our wheels, these are 19-inch alloys, and they are exclusive to the N-Line and N-Line Ultimate trim levels. I think they look phenomenal. Is that one easier to film, Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to move that much.
Okay. And I will pop the hood, so I'll meet you up at the front, I guess. All right. Moving very slowly.
Very slow.
No sudden movements here. All right. So under the hood, again, another low profile Hyundai emblem. Give it a lift. It is hydraulic. And then for our engine, it's a 1.6 liter turbocharged GDI engine with 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Now again, these are numbers that are going to win you many races, but this vehicle is a ton of fun to drive. It does active cornering assist, which means it turns on a dime. All-wheel drive, like I mentioned, and the fuel efficiency is not that bad, especially if you drive with a light foot. If you do have a heavier foot, I definitely recommend going up to the turbocharged model, so the N-Line or the N-Line Ultimate, just because it's going to be more of a pleasure to drive. The lower trims, while still responsive, just don't give you that turbocharged feel. So that is all for my exterior portion. We're going to do a very gentle trade-off to talk about the interior.
Thank you.
All right.
I saw a couple people talking about some of the plastic coverings too. Yes, we have plastic coverings on the wipers. This car is brand new. It's got 16 kilometers on it and 28 kilometers of fuel left.
Yes. And if you saw this car an hour ago, it was covered in exterior and interior stickers because it literally just came off the truck.
All right, so let's talk about what we love and what could be better on the inside too. So I'll have Gabby give a little bit of an overview if she can.
Oh, this is gonna be painful, guys. Bear with me.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful. But something I love is I love the combination of the seats. They are a combination of a leatherette and also a suede, and I love the inclusion of the red stitching. I think that is so fun and such a fun detail. I also love that you have power seats that you are able to very easily adjust depending on who's driving in the vehicle. And then you also have a lumbar support, so two-way lumbar support. So I think that is great and an incredibly comfortable feature. I also love that in this vehicle you do get a Bose premium sound system.
So Charlotte, you seem to love a lot. Is there anything off the top of your head you can think of that could use some improvement?
That could use some improvement. I definitely wish there was a sunglass holder, but we will get to that as we take a little bit more of a look. And I have a couple things about the infotainment center that I think could be a little bit better too.
All right.
But I'll have you come around to the side.
As I'm
Slowly.
walking over there, I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna open the door, because right now I'm holding it with two hands. All right, engine bay. I saw some questions asked about the color, if it's blue, if it's gray. It's actually green. This is called Mirage Green. Some lighting, it does almost have a cyber gray look to it with a tinge of blue, but it is very much mint chocolate chip ice cream green. All right, let's hop inside though, and there's a lot of red.
There's definitely a lot of red. So some of the things, I tried to get the door for you.
Oh, thank you.
Some of the things that I love that they have done on the N-Line Ultimate is just the inclusion of all of the red accents. I think that they look great. I love the badging on the seats. One thing I wish that could be a little bit different is I'm actually not a huge fan of the Morse code H on the steering wheel. I think there's a lot better they could have done with their design, especially matching the exterior to the inside, than just this one little area. But I know that is such a small thing for many people, and it's small for me too.
I have to disagree with you there.
You like it?
I love it.
Oh, okay there. Well, there you go. Two different opinions.
Yeah. Styling is subjective.
Styling is definitely subjective. I do love how they have simplified the screen, and you can see we have a fully digital instrument cluster, and it is so easy to use, guys. Like, I don't think you quite understand how simple everything is laid out and how easy it is to navigate. I also love that this vehicle is all-wheel drive, and when it comes to looking at your power distribution, you can actually see how the wheels are turning too, so you can see that I've angled my front tires.
Awesome.
Love that, love that. Now, of course, ooh, come on.
Getting a couple comments about the sunglass holder saying it's not a deal breaker, but it is kind of important.
Yeah, I understand that you can definitely get one on Amazon, and you also have this ledge here, so there is intentional design. Also, you have a pretty
Gosh, Blair.
decent glove box.
Sorry.
Should I be scared?
No, you just said the Morse code is there for blind drivers.
There you go. Something I do love is I do love the screen. The screen is so intuitive. One thing I wish about it is you can see that I've got a cord here, which means I'm currently operating with a wired Apple CarPlay to stream Trunk Talk, which is mine and Gabby's podcast. Shameless promo. Now, I know in the US there have been over-the-air software updates, and I'm so happy that this vehicle does have the capacity for over-the-air software updates, but we have yet to see that in Canada. If I'm going to speculate, being the keyword here, I'm assuming that we will see that later in Canada, but it's not available as of right now. But I do love how intuitive the screen is. And then also here you can see that new software update, the CCNC, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. And again, incredibly easy to use, incredibly responsive.
So let's talk about some things we love about the CCNC.
Yeah.
So number one, something that was a game changer for me. Oh, this is so annoying. Sorry. We have the ability to search.
Absolutely.
So you give that a push, and it's essentially just a quick Google search, but for your car. If there's any feature you can't seem to find on the screen, you can type it in and it'll take you there.
Yeah, and the search at the top really shows it all. It's for contact, address, points of interest, features. It everything. It's not just for one specific thing. It pretty much is a search for the whole entire vehicle. So if you want to know more about those features that Gabby mentioned, you are able to plug them in, and then you can do your own little editing on them there too. I also love how the center here is laid out. Again, super easy to use. When it comes to your climate control, you do have a dual zone climate control. Let me turn that on. Maybe I have to get out of this, or actually turn the vehicle. Maybe if I actually turn the vehicle on.
A couple of people just quickly asked what CCNC stands for, and it's Car Connection Navigation Cockpit.
Yep. Get out of there. Go back. So yeah, and this is the new software. I think it looks great. Again, like I said, super easy to use, super easy to navigate. And then down at the bottom is we're going to have more of those intentional features. So I currently have my phone plugged in for connectivity and charging. If I want it just to be for charging, I can simply press this and it will switch. We also have another USB-C here if Gabby wants to charge her phone, and if there's something else, we also have a wireless phone charger here. Now, this is something that is really fun, and I love this for the back seat, especially if you have, young kids in the back seat, because this is a very spacious vehicle. But what this does is it shows you that the seat belts are not in use, and should they be connected, buckled in, these will be, they will no longer be illuminated, showing you which ones are in use, which ones aren't in use. So I love that. I also love the fact that we have you are able to manually lock your differential. And of course we have different drive modes. So we have a normal, sport, and snow mode. So sport mode, this is the N-Line Ultimate. Of course we're gonna have something fun, and this is really gonna give it that sporty feel. We've done a little bit more of an in-depth video on talking about that, but it really is so much fun to drive this vehicle when it is in sport mode. It really does tighten up. The handling is incredible. It's so much fun. Snow mode, I love that that is included too, because of course we live in Canada, so it's nice that you can utilize the all-wheel drive system and the traction control, but if you do have a little bit of excess wheel spin, it's going to detect that and help to stabilize it for you. Also, I love that you have 2 levels of heat for your heated steering wheel, and you have heated and ventilated seats for the driver and passenger.
This next thing is, it seems kind of small, but I promise if you daily drive this vehicle, it's not small. Notice how this isn't piano black.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Absolutely. No, you're totally right. It's more of that graphite color. It's not piano black, so I think that is great for the everyday driver. I am not a piano black girl. I have it in my own car, but I much prefer the look of this because, just like you said, it's not a fingerprint magnet. Now, something else I love about this vehicle is the inclusion of the surround view monitor. Now, this isn't new technology. We've definitely seen this, but we don't really see it on vehicles of this class as much. So it's nice that this has been included. Gabby showed you guys the cameras on the exterior of the vehicle, the rear, the front, and the mirrors, and they stitched together this beautiful picture. Also, of course, your button for parking sensors. Turn them off, turn them on. There you go.
Holy moly, Paul just said he received his Kia jacket yesterday.
Yay!
And he sent 50 pounds.
Oh my goodness, Paul, thank you so much.
Seriously, thank you. And I'm so glad you got your jacket.
I'm so glad that that arrived safely.
Yeah.
Good. I do like the cup holders in this vehicle, but where I find it lacking is going to be with your center console or lack thereof.
Yes.
Really, the only part that is fully covered is going to be up here. Down here is still all open. Now, be it you can't necessarily see at the back with the window, but it would have been nice if this was all enclosed. It's not that much space. They could have enclosed it. But I think that this is really well done. There's tons of space here for a tablet, a book, if you're like me. Usually I got a book on me. And I also love the adjustable cup holders too.
So I was going to say, this is the only thing I really, really don't like.
Yeah, I don't love that. It could have been better for sure.
Absolutely.
But still lots to love in this vehicle. Dark headliner. We got a super wide sunroof too. So that is definitely a nice feature to have included. And again, if you're curious as to some of the more in-depth features, we have done a full complete walkthrough of this vehicle. So there is lots more information to be shared.
Yes.
But maybe let's hop into the back seat.
For sure. Very slowly.
Very slowly.
This is the current filming setup, guys. The gimbal is not gimbaling. If I let it go, it falls. So bear with us. All right. The door. Okay.
All right. Hey, I love the back seat. I love that you're still getting those details of the suede and leatherette combo. I love that you can pull this down, of course. This is pretty standard, cup holders and an armrest. But one thing that could definitely be improved upon is the inclusion of rear vents. I always love it when rear vents are back here. That way you can get a little bit more circulation into the back. So that would have been nice to include. But you do have 2 USB-Cs, so you're still able to charge, and you also have a convenience slot here for extra room. If you are curious as to what it would look like with somebody sitting in the middle seat, usually they're not going to be wearing heeled shoes, so your knees are going to be a little bit lower, but I still feel like I have a fair bit of space. But if I'm being honest, of course, put your tallest passenger in the driver's seat, in the front seat, or in one of these seats. It may not be as comfortable for your tallest passenger if they're sitting right here. But for me, I don't have a problem. I've sat in the back seat of this vehicle before, and again, found it quite comfortable. You do have a cargo pocket. You only have one though on the passenger seat. You do not have one on the rear of the driver's seat.
One thing I'll point out, on camera, the seats kind of look like they have stains. That is just the
suede.
way the suede looks. I promise in person they do not look like that. And they look darker. Right now they're looking very, very gray. In person, it's more like just a soft black, I guess. That's how I would describe it. All right, so very slowly, we'll take another look. I can't really think of much I don't like about the exterior. I think the redesign did it so well. The Kona before looked a little bit bubbly. Now it looks modern, it looks aggressive, and the end lines specifically, they look very, very sporty.
I think that Hyundai did a really good job of listening to their customers too when it came to the redesign on what people liked and what they didn't like. And so that also gives hope for future redesigns or future vehicles that they are listening to their consumers and implementing those changes that people want to see too. That has been really cool.
For sure. I don't know how we're going to do the Q&A portion.
I think we might just have to set it on something, like maybe take it out of the gimbal.
Hold on.
Questionable. Oh, leverage it on my iPad.
Wait.
We back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. I accidentally turned my phone off. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to put this.
Just lean against here.
This is all.
And we'll crouch. Or stand really far back.
Okay.
There, this is fine. It's fine.
This is fine, guys.
It's fine.
So if you are new here, it's usually not this bad. It kind of is, to be honest.
But we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I don't know if any viewers are still on. I don't know if ending or the phone turning off interrupted the stream for everyone, but maybe we'll just scroll up and answer some questions, I guess.
Let's
We could very well be talking to ourselves right now.
We could.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Still here, Ryan says.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Sorry, that was a little awkward. The body-colored fenders look great on this vehicle. I agree. This isn't my exact paint color choice. I wouldn't say I would opt for this, but I think it definitely makes the vehicle look a lot more premium. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about price point on the Kona as well, too, because like I said, there's a Kona for everybody. The prices range. If you want front wheel, all wheel, it doesn't matter. There's a Kona for you. So the base or the essential trim level is priced at $25,999 Canadian, which is a very good price. And then, of course, it's the same size as this one. And then this one, which is the top model, fully loaded, of course, like we mentioned, is $38,999 before taxes and fees. So good pricing for sure.
Here's a good question from Sean. Hi guys, great videos. We live in Ottawa, so if we buy a car from you, will Ottawa dealership service our car within our warranty agreement? Or do we need to bring it back to you? Yes, they absolutely will service your vehicle in Ottawa. It does not need to be done at the dealership that you bought it at, but I think it is great to service with the dealership that you bought it at if it's possible. If it's possible. Obviously, don't commute from Ottawa. That's crazy. But it's great to also get connected with the dealership in your local area too for servicing.
For example, up above, you may have seen a comment from Bulletin Blair. He is a customer of mine, fantastic customer, but he lives not that close. He's about almost 2 hours away. So if he ever needed a service somewhere else, I would not be mad at him, although it's recommended to service at a Kia dealership for sure. All right. Which version do you find the most fun to drive, the base, N-Line, or the EV? So neither of them we've been able to drive, and I just mean in the sense of taking it on the highway, taking it in the country, taking it home, driving it for more than just a quick 10-minute drive between our Hyundai store and our Kia store. I would anticipate that I would probably like the N-Line, so either the N-Line by itself or N-Line Ultimate the most, just because I really do like the feel of the turbocharged engine. However, I know the EV previous years was a lot of fun. Of course, the EV, you get that instant torque, which is always something to put a smile on your face, but yeah, I would say probably the turbo. What about you? What was the question?
Yeah, I was reading.
Between the base with the 2-liter engine, the 1.6-liter engine, or the EV, which do you think would be the most fun to drive, in your opinion?
Maybe 1.6 turbo, probably for me. I think that would be more fun. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You got to say something else.
I was reading.
That's okay. Let's see. Are LED headlights covered on the 5-year warranty?
So it depends, and it actually varies from trim to trim. So bulbs and sockets are typically going to be covered under the first 12 months, $20,000. but 20,000 kilometers, but sometimes they can be covered as an incidental if there was a problem, if that makes sense. But sometimes with that, it's going to be a case by case.
Yes. All right. How does this compare to the Kia Niro in terms of space? So you will get a little bit more room in the Kona. You're also going to get a bit more ride height. So the Niro, for example, does have some advantages. You get a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or full EV, but it's a bit lower to the ground, and it's only available as a front-wheel drive vehicle. So there's a couple different things there. Scroll upwards. Samarath said, I disagree on this one kind of. The front and rear are not aggressive. They're round to round. Again, I think styling is subjective. Yeah. I, for one, certainly think this one looks a lot more like it means business than the previous years.
Yes, yes. I agree with that statement. But it is definitely a little bit more, like, more rounded. It's not quite as, you know, it's not in the era of boxy SUVs like we're seeing with the redesigned Santa Fe or a lot of the other boxy designs that are coming out, the more rugged ones.
And then he also said, I still feel like there's no Kia or Hyundai vehicle that looks as clean as the Tucson does. They've just designed it to absolute perfection. It's pretty aggressive, luxurious, comfortable, high-tech, all in one. And hey, I love the Tucson. Yeah, it's a great vehicle. I like to think of the Kona as a smaller Tucson, though. Especially now with this redesign, it looks like a Tucson. All right. Anton said he sent him to Mexico. Well, he's back now, and he means business. We'll probably see him tomorrow, and if he's not in tomorrow's video, he will certainly be in a couple of our videos from Thursday. Yes. Charlotte, what's Thursday? So Thursday is the media day at the Toronto Auto Show, so we will be there. And we're going to film some super fun videos. There's some cool cars that are going to be there, and we are so excited to see them too. Absolutely. We're going to try to film as much as we possibly can. Let's see. It would look a lot more sporty in a primary color rather than a pastel, and I agree with you there. Yeah. For sure. Especially, like, I don't want to say black, but black. I find the emblems pop out quite a bit more, and just, I don't know, it looks very good. MG's asking a good question. Is there going to be a live on Thursday? There probably will. I just don't know the time. Because of the press conferences and we're going to be out of our normal routine, we're not sure. So keep an eye out on our social media and also on YouTube. Usually we'll put a little post out as to if we're doing something and what the time will be. So if you haven't turned on your post notifications, here's your sign to do it. Now's your sign, yeah. Last year what we did was we live streamed as we walked through the exhibits for Kia and Hyundai, so we saw all of the displays. It wasn't a full walkthrough of the vehicles, of course, because there's so many people taking photos. They came later. Yeah, the walkthroughs definitely came later, but Thursday, I'm sure you can anticipate to see some sort of walkthrough of some exhibit. So it should be a lot of fun. We're at about the 28-minute mark, so should probably wind off. All right, everybody, thank you again so much for joining us on today's live stream. It was an interesting one. And of course, if this is your first Kia Hyundai channel video, don't let that scare you. Hang in there. I promise they get better. Sometimes. If not, at least we had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun watching as well. If you're watching in the future and you missed out on the ability to live chat with us, ask us questions in the comments. And we will do our very best to answer them for you. All right. Thank you guys so much. We will see you tomorrow. See ya. Bye.